Greetings, everyone, and welcome to yet another exciting chapter of A Tale of D20s, Descent into the Void, where six friends join together to tell a story of mythic proportion.
Gather round, gather round. Let me tell you a tale of life and death, of joy and sorrow, a tale of D20s.
Liberators, you started your ascension of Kuro Mountain, where you and Kai, son of the daimyo Kaijin, were to train your budding vagaries in preparation for the Northville, a battle for supremacy of Frostmoor between you and Kai's uncle Hiei. You battled shadows from your past, learned the essence of demon dancing and vagaries from Kai, and fought through dangerous obstacles with your new abilities, until finally entering a strange cave where you were all separated. Finding yourselves in strange rooms, that seemed to be the trials, most of you succeeding, grabbing glass orbs of elemental flames glowing within it. You crashed these orbs into the ground, and Monaco, Kao, Duran, King, and Kai were fused with these flames, fully unlocking their vagaries. Unfortunately, Horatio was unable to attain his orb, failing to unlock his vagary. Reaching the summit of Kuro Mountain, you all grouped together before feeling a strong quake and a loud caw in the air as a black obsidian fractaled large phoenix soared from up above. It fired gem-like crystals from his mouth, crashing upon all of you, who you all happened to just dodge out of the way in time. The creature flew back into the clouds up above, encircling before making its next strike. Liberators, I will need you all to roll me initiative. So, you all have awoken to your vagaries. Well, most of you have. A vagary is an elemental power within one's soul. Through poetic, precise stances and movements, one can call upon this power. A vagary can be activated by using 25 feet of movement. You then spend a soul burst to activate the ability of your choice, and within your character sheets you will see the abilities that you have access to. Your innate abilities are activated upon demon dancing. You have something called Overburst. You can push past your limits when you have no more soul bursts remaining and attempt to force activate your vagaries. The side effects are unknown, so you do this at your own risk. Cal, your vagary is known as Bolero of Lightning. Cal, your vagary ability is Bullet Storm. You can bend bullets with your lightning affinity. If you miss on an attack roll, you can re-roll that attack, possibly hitting it. Your innate ability is called Discharge, where you can move up to 25 feet in any direction without provoking opportunity attacks. When you end your movement, all creatures within 5 feet of you must succeed on a strength saving throw, or else fall prone. The DC is listed within your character sheet. Monaco, your vagary is known as Diamond's Ballet. Your power is Diamond's Crush. Crystals shoot out from the ground, trapping 8 small, 4 medium, 2 large, or 1 huge creatures within 60 feet. A creature can move out of your Diamond's Crush, but they take 2d6 piercing damage, and it is difficult terrain. King, your vagary is known as Aquatic Waltz. Innately, you have Aqua Glide. You can walk on water, and your swim speed is your movement speed, and it is doubled. You have Royal Domain, by using a Soul Burst, all allies within a 20-foot radius of you gain 1d4 HP at the start of their turns. You can expend more Soul Bursts to increase it by 1d4. Duran, your vagary, known as Skywalker, gives you the ability to fly up to your movement speed, and your Soul Burst ability is known as Strike of the Wind God. Using the momentum of your movement, your next attack has the Throne 2040 property. You can extend that by using additional soul bursts. Alright, so the black phoenix is flying around up in the sky. Kai turns around and looks back and says, Everyone, prepare yourselves. My friends, we've made it this far. With the strength of our backs and support from one another, we have prevailed. All trials in this mountain. So let's do it once more. Let's crush this final test beneath our might. History will be made tonight, and he draws his sword when he says this. And all of Shiverum will know of the adventurers who climbed and defeated Kuro Mountain. So my friends, I ask you, Cal, King, Monaco, Duran, Horatio, are you ready to become legends?
Yeah! King throws up his hands and starts screaming towards the group.
Horatio has his eyes steady on that Black Phoenix. Whatever is necessary.
Let's do this.
The Phoenix takes the first turn. So you hear the caw in the air as the Phoenix begins to fly around. You see the shadows from the stone beast in the clouds. It finally breaches the clouds where it's in vision once again and starts to begin to soar down at you. It's about 200 feet in the air at this point, where it once again reels its neck back and shooting down at, let's see, all of you, is a storm of crystals and gems shooting out of its beak. I'm going to need all of you to roll dexterity saving throws.
Make sure you add 4.
All right, so we have Duran with a 22, King with a 26, Monaco with a 25, Cal with a 9.
Yeah.
And 20 from Horatio. Okay. So, prepared from the last time you had jumped out the way, you all instinctively, including Kai, jump to the side. You don't take any damage from this. Unfortunately, Cal, you're unable to react quick enough, getting hit and pummeled by the shards of crystal. You take 20 points of piercing and bludgeoning damage as you're just being bombarded by these rocks. All right. It's going to end its turn up in the sky. At this point, it's, like I said, 200 feet up.
All right, so it is Horatio's turn now?
What do you want to do?
Okay, you said it's 200 feet in the air, right?
You do notice that it was kind of glowing before with a strange black hue, and after release this blast, it's no longer glowing anymore.
Okay. I want to get between... So I'm pretty sure that can I stand where King is at to cast a spell and then move afterwards?
Stand where King is. So you are... Oh, you want to go into a spot? Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to go into a spot and then I want to cast haste at 4th level and hit both Duran and Cal.
All right. Go ahead and cast your haste.
Okay, and then I would move and just kind of, if that's like a little opening for me to duck behind cover, then I will use that to kind of hide from this. Not actually use an action to hide or anything, but just kind of like get out of its line of sight.
All right. There is a little bit of an overpass. You're still within its sight. If it wanted to, it can see you, but you're slightly more protected than everybody else.
Perfect. And that is my turn.
All right. So Horatio, you run going past King, reaching out, casting forth your haste onto Cal and Duran before continuing making yourself sliding behind the stone wall that has a little overpass. Up next is Cal.
All right. So, my first question is, this looks like it's like a high point on the map. It looks like it's like an elevated type of thing. Like how, if I were to traverse that, how high up in the air would I be?
Probably about 40 feet.
Okay.
But you'll have to either get there or go around and up the hill.
Yeah. And the Phoenix is like 200 feet in the air right now?
Yes, and it's starting to come down.
It's starting to come down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cal is going to use that hasted movement and then quickly burst into a sprint up the hill. I'm like sprinting up in the snow, like crunching underneath my feet, like up this very steep slope of this obsidian. And from there, I think I want to start taking shots at the Phoenix. I'm going to like point my revolver at the Phoenix as it's starting to tumble down or swoop down and just unload with my remaining magic pistol that is working.
All right. Roll that first attack at disadvantage. 13 fortunately misses.
Ugh.
Fire your first shot. It shoots wide, not hitting the Phoenix as it's starting to barrel down.
I'm going to keep trying.
All right. That is a 20, which hits.
Awesome.
All right. So roll damage.
Okay. And then I will make my third attack.
12 points of damage, which you see hits it. It bounces off of his body, making a small little scratch. This didn't seem to really pierce through. It does half damage.
Okay. I noticed that it isn't doing as much, so I kind of close my eyes really quick before I let off the third shot and focus my mind with the power of Kalemvor behind the next pull of the trigger.
All right, that's a 10, which misses. So you fire your next shot. It goes wide again. The Phoenix still continuing to make its way down.
And I'll use my last shot with the bonus action.
All right, a 12, which also misses. Once again, you manage to land your second shot, but the rest of them keep going on missing as the Phoenix dives left and right, going past your magical bullets.
All right, and that'll be my turn.
Okay, Duran, you're up next.
Duran is going to grab his blade, and is kind of taking an aggressive attack stance, but he's going to look over to King and Monaco first and kind of look as if they want to cast something before he starts up.
Oh yeah, we all have 12s. Can we pick the order?
Yeah, you can move at any rate space that you want. Duran is inherently faster than you, but he can choose to react with you if he wants to.
Okay. I'm going to look at Duran ready to leap into action and put my hand out and offer it to him while also reaching back towards Horatio. Once they both hold my hand, I'll say, I bind myself to thee and use her grace to watch over you. Activate, and the platinum rings that I gave both of them will start to glow. And I'll cast Warding Bond on both of them and twin it as my action.
All right. Spreading your hands apart, King, you use your sorcery magic to twin the spell. As it goes from one hand to the other, touching it encompasses your targets of Duran and Horatio, and you all feel the bond towards King, the bond towards Myliki.
I'll say it's now or never, and after I've activated that, I'll start swirling my hands up and tapping my feet and dancing, and I would like to dance in place and activate my aquatic waltz vagary. I'm going to use 2 soul burst points.
Okay.
Dang, the one time I had a higher initiative.
I was like, girl, you ran away.
I know, right? He's the most.
If I do come within the 20-foot radius, do I then...
Yeah, so I can keep it active, but the thing is, it takes 25 movement to keep it active, and I only have 30 feet of movement, so I can only move 5 movement around, so just make sure you come to me.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, I have haste. I can just go all the feet. Let's do it.
Okay, so I put the regen on. I did 2 ticks because it's I did the double effect, so I currently have that active.
So, King, this is your first time doing it in battle, so as you take a deep breath and think back to when you were stepping on the lake that you had pulled your vagary soul from, you go ahead and make those movements and begin it's a waltz. So holding your 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 step as you spin around in the circle, in very fluid bodied motions, you shout out the royal dominion, and as it does, a water droplet falls onto the ground, and the ground itself becomes ripple-like and begins rippling. And at the end of the ripple, all of you feel a mist-like substance kind of go and circle around you, seeping into your skin, giving you energy, and you gain 1d4 at the start of your turns, or 2d4s because he used 2 soul bursts.
Royal Dominion, activate! And then after I do this, I'll waltz 5 feet in the direction, sort of getting off of the cliff's edge, trying to make it to the clearing. But keeping active, or keeping the dance active, I only move a small amount, and then end my turn, or end my move, my go.
Okay. So, King, after performing his dance, releases his vagary. You all feel the invigorating power of his dominion. You feel protected. Kai looks back to you and gives you a smile. Duran, Monaco, what are you 2 doing?
Dungeon Master, these spikes, these kind of spires of ice that we're seeing, how high are these? There's the one directly to the south of the Black Phoenix by 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 cells, and the one to the right of the Phoenix by about 4 cells. How high are those two different ice structures?
So it's an incline. So you'll be going up about 10 feet. So you'll get a total of 30 extra feet if you go on top of this one here, and 20 feet to this one here. So left is 20, 30 for the right. Does that answer your question?
Absolutely answers my question. Wow, I could probably really catch up to this guy right now if we wanted to. So let's see. Duran is going to use his enhanced movement speed, and he's going to remember the motions that Horatio taught him in the cave before they opened the scar, and the abilities he used recently when he activated his vagary, and he's going to go through the motions to activate his cloud vagary into Skywalk.
All right, so using 25 feet of your movement, you begin the dances and the movement that you did before and activate your skywalk, and the air starts to form around your feet and you begin to hover so slightly, and you feel yourself leave from the ground and then land once again, but this time not on the ground, about 3 feet off of it.
Okay. How far away is the Black Phoenix from me?
The Black Phoenix is 200 feet away from you.
Okay, so I spent 25 movement activating the vagary, and that gives me 45 of my movement left. Let's see. My haste action gives me a dash action of 70 feet. I'd take an additional dash action of 70 feet using my bonus action as a rogue, and that gives me 210 feet plus. I should be able to reach the Black Phoenix with my actions intact.
All right.
So Duran kind of does the dance of movements kind of with the echoey speed effect from the haste, and then crouches down low, and once he gets in the air, he's going to just take a bunch of steps in the air as quickly as possible, like he's running on the air itself to get over to the Black Phoenix.
All right, so Duran, you finish your dance, pull back, the winds start to pick up around, and you all kind of put your hands up to block your face as the snow begins to blow at you all, coming from Duran, and then thrusting forward, you begin stepping, gliding, because you're hasted. There's a little shadow or an after image coming from behind you as you step up, and you kind of zip in front of this large black obsidian creature as it caws at your face. You are now face to face with the Black Phoenix.
Well, it's time for it to come face to face with the business end of my sword. I'm going to attack it. And what's it like at this point? Is it still like cloudy, or we're completely just in the air at this point? No cloud cover.
The clouds are right above you. It pierced down through the clouds, so the clouds will probably be another 20 or so feet above you. So it's clear here. The outside, like the area that you can see around you, though, is very like misty and foggy.
Excellent. Duran's going to hit this fool with his magnetic blade.
All right, that's a hit. Roll damage. Okay. You strike it with the first hit of the dual-bladed scimitar. It crashes down and hits onto this hard metallic-like surface, barely scraping it. And you see that you don't go in all the way as you thought you would with your blade. Only 5 damage. That was halved.
Duran's going to strike again, using the second attack feature as a fighter.
All right, go ahead and roll that next attack. 28. That hits. Roll damage. All right, so doing 19 points of damage, halved to 9. So once again, Duran, keeping up, you see the wind start to pick up around your magnetic blade as it starts to carve into the obsidian beast. Still not truly piercing and slashing it, but it is making cuts. So, and that connection that you had to King's bond has been broken since you went too far away. Duran, anything else you want to do?
Then Duran is going to, let's see. Yeah, Duran is going to end his turn at this point.
Okay. So Duran, jolting up, leaving the protective barrier of King, you instinctively strike at the Black Phoenix 200 feet in the sky, using your cloud vagary to do so. Slashing at it, you see you don't do as much damage as you should. Its body too hard. It even seemed that looking at the shots from Cal and his magic blast didn't even pierce it as well. This definitely is a tough opponent that you feel. Next up, Monako. You feel the rejuvenating effects of King's Dominion.
Minako will charge forward, staying near both King and Kai, and just prepare to cast Eldritch Blast when the Black Phoenix comes within range. She just takes out her rod and taps it against her book and glares at the Phoenix, getting ready.
So you're holding your action. What are you? Your Eldritch Blast, you said?
Yeah, just an Eldritch Blast.
Okay, so looking on, staying within the Royal Dominion, you lock on to Duran and the Black Phoenix, preparing your blast as it's now in your hand and it's glowing. It's that black force magic, ready to strike as soon as it gets within range. Up next is Kai. So Kai will look up at Duran and says, I've never seen anyone move that fast before. I'll support you from down here. And he begins to go into his own demon dancing. His is sharp movements that flow in each month and in each stride. And in doing so, you start to see electricity and clouds start to crackle around him, creating some type of strange storm-like energy. As it does, it foils around his feet and coalesces there. As he finishes the movement, he kicks both feet up in a 1-2 motion, and in doing so, 2 shards of lightning strike up, attempting to hit the Black Phoenix. As the lightning bolts coming from Kai's feet go across, the Phoenix looks over at it, does a barrel roll, and spins around it. And Duran, you see 2 lightning strike up into the air. But a little bit does graze the tail end of it, and he does take half damage of 26. So he takes 13 points of damage. And he's just going to end his turn there. All right, top of the round. The Phoenix is going to dash past Duran, flying down, getting right above your heads, and about 20 feet above you.
Does it provoke an attack of opportunity when it does that?
As you try to go and do your attack opportunity, we're going to waste your reaction. But it just dives so fast that before you're even able to react, it's gone. It does not provoke opportunity attacks when it moves.
As it ends its movement, hovering about 20 feet above us, the bolt of energy that Minako is carrying, she finally releases, and she will attempt to Eldritch Blast it.
All right, roll that Eldritch Blast. 25 hits, roll damage. Okay.
As it hits, there's a sort of moment when it hangs in the air, the bolt of crackling black energy sort of sticking to it, and an arcane force kind of yanks down on it, and it moves 10 feet towards us as the grasp of Hadar kicks in.
All right.
And she will release her second Eldritch Blast, which misses.
17 misses.
After it yanks down, she kind of miscalculates the second blast and lets it go over its head.
All right. So the Phoenix swoops down, getting caught by Monaco's force blast. You notice that a little chunk of it comes out. More damage than you've witnessed the other allies have done to it, getting its full effect. Kind of caws in anger and shoots his look as it's being pulled down, the second Eldritch Blast missing. It's was looking at King, seeing the effects that his Dominion was doing, but now his eyes on you as you've actually damaged it. But it will end his turn 10 feet above all of you. Up next, Horatio Kane.
All right, so I want to move past King. He's above us, right?
Yes.
So I'd like to move right there. And then I'm going to cast Lightning Bolt at the creature.
Lightning Bolt, all right. So it has to make a dexterity saving throw, which is a 13. So that's a failure. Roll damage.
All right, so as the Phoenix comes and swoops in, and I notice him or the Phoenix looking at Minako, I kind of run in front of her and take out the ice shard that I had, start muttering some arcane words, and a small lightning bolt starts forming at the palm of his hand, or ball of lightning, and then he just releases it forward and hits the Phoenix.
Okay, 37 points of damage. You go ahead and shoot out your lightning blast as muttering the words. It strikes onto the Phoenix,
before kind of dispersing around its body. You see it start to shake and shudder as pieces start to crackle off of it.
And he will continue and move right back to where he was. Also, quick question: Do I recognize this creature from the books that I've read?
Nope, you have no idea what this creature is.
Okay.
So next up, Cal. You saw the descent of the Phoenix onto your allies. You're up there in that corner. What do you do next?
So the first thing I do is, seeing that lightning bolt do so much damage to this Phoenix, it gave me the inspiration to start dancing and activating my vagary.
All
So I'm
right.
going to use 25 of my movement for that. And from there, since I wouldn't be at disadvantage anymore, I'm going to take my regular pistol now and start unloading bullets onto the Phoenix. And while I'm doing that, and while I was activating my vagary and the lightning, I pray to Kalimvor as I'm doing the activation, knowing that I'm trying to power up my shots, not only with my vagary, but with the power of Kalimvor.
All right. So you perform the dance, your strong, very sharp dance movements of aggression. And after completing it, you feel the electricity start to form around you as it goes from the top of your head down to the soles of your feet and begins to charge your eyes. Go ahead and roll your attack.
All right. Ooh.
16 misses.
I'm actually going to use a soul burst, and as like you see that electricity kind of like charging out of my eyes, the bullet like slows down in bullet time and then like turns and flies into the Phoenix.
All right. Go ahead and roll again.
Oh my god.
The same exact number.
It was not meant to be the fates.
16. Your second shot, you go ahead and it misses the creature, and the bullet, you take control of using your electricity to bend it, and it comes back but misses again as you're not fully in control of your vagary.
I need to practice this. I'm gonna use my second attack to fire at the Phoenix again.
Okay.
Ooh. Cannot win.
Sorry, 17 does not hit.
Yeah, I'm going to try one more time with the hasted attack, and I'm going to use my channel divinity to re-roll that, using my guided strike, adding 10 to the roll. And this time I'm going to channel my divinity, as I had said, as well as doing the vagary. I was trying to channel Kalimvor's sense of balance into this trial. So it ends up being a 21, which I think would hit.
That is going to hit.
Awesome. And I activate a Divine Smite as I see that one land at the second level.
All right, roll damage. So Cal, you go ahead and start firing. You go into your vagary dance, so you're storm dancing, and begin to fire off the blasts from your revolver, some of them missing, using your powers to kind of bend them around and finally connect with the Phoenix. You do, and then charging it up further with your Divine Smite, you all see a bluish white light just kind of shatter and explode onto the Black Phoenix as you hear as it screams in cause and pain. What else do you want to do?
With my bonus action, I'd like to reload my magic pistol,
Okay.
and that will be my turn.
All right. So finishing off your turn, you go ahead and take out the empty shells and re-put in back your bullets, clapping it back together and ready to strike next. Up next would be Duran, Monaco, Horatio, King.
Monaco this time is very eager to be confronting the Black Phoenix. When it locked its eyes on her, she locked hers back fiercely, and she will approach it and attempt to Eldritch Blast it again.
So you're doing your action first.
I would like to.
So you gain 4 more hit points from King's Royal Dominion. Striking with your Eldritch Blast, a 28 hits.
And as it hits, it sort of sticks for a second, and it will be forced to move 10 feet towards her once again.
All right, 6 points of damage. And as your Eldritch Blast hits and you force it to move down, the creature cries in pain touches the ground, and immediately you see its black crystal obsidian shape turn more into a fleshy bird-like feathery shape. There's still little pockets and pieces of rock and crystal on it, but it kind of breaks it off, and it now becomes fleshier, and it looks easier to hit as you see it crying in pain as it's touched the ground at this point.
And as it touches the ground, she begins to gracefully move, and she will initiate her vagary by spending 25 feet of movement and a soul burst to activate Diamond's Crush, trapping one huge creature.
All right. So activating Diamond Crush, you see the pieces of rock and stone from all around you protrude out, crashing into the phoenix, its feet pierced as it is stuck and trying to get out. You hear it screaming in pain more, and it looks unable to move at this moment.
Stone dancing, Diamond's ballet, Diamond's Crush! And she'll do a little twirl, and it's kind of spikes up out of the ground, and that will be her turn.
Duran would like to try to gain agency of the situation again, since he's all tumbling and he might start tumbling through the air soon. Duran is going to kind of focus on, even though there's nothing around him that says that he's safe, remembering the trust in the powers that he's got gained, and he's going to perform the cloud dance in the air using 25 feet of his movement. He's going to then use 45 to move. Duran is going to use his dash action and his additional move action from the haste to get to the ground.
Okay, that'll get you right there. You dash down, the winds pushing against you before you're face to face, landing on the ground with this trapped beast.
Then Duran is going to use his, while he comes down, he's going to let go of the magnetic blade once he's close to the ground, and then grab Firethorn off of his back. And once he lands, can I use my action? I know it's like a bonus action to use the activation word, but I don't have any bonus actions left at this point. Can I just use an action to activate it?
Yeah, I'm fine with you using action active. It will use up your action, but I'll allow it.
I'm actually going to just try to get into range and swing with Firethorn instead of igniting it.
Okay. So you go ahead and drop the magnetic blade. It falls down to the ground, landing somewhere around where the beast is. You grabbing Firethorn that's unlit, you come down and go ahead and make your attack. All right, so a 17 in this case does hit, although it didn't before, but you see that it's more exposed, that shelling has been split apart as it touched the ground. You strike down, hitting the beast, drawing some blood from it. Roll your damage.
And I have a friend next to it. I'm going to also, Duran's going to try to take advantage of the opening to kind of kick his blade up with his leg to get in a sneak attack damage strike.
All right. So a total of 22 points of damage as you come down, slashing onto the back of the Black Phoenix and then going around against his legs that are encompassed in this rock. You go ahead and slash it again, doing some damage as it caws and reels back in pain and agony. Anything else you'd like to do?
Duran's going to spin around and use the second attack feature to hit it a second time.
Okay. Don't forget to roll 3 times. 2 nat 1s. Wow. But luckily you get Elven Accuracy. Okay, 13. That does not hit. Even though it is trapped, the crystals and rocks that Monako has summoned are blocking your access, though, and you kind of smack against those instead as the beast still kind of looks at you and reels in pain.
Duran glares at the beast and looks over at his friends, ready to defend them against this monster. I end my turn.
All right. King, did you go?
No. Okay. So now that it's my turn, I'm going to continue the dance and slowly waltz 5 more feet closer towards the party and pulse off a tick of regen to my allies within range. So at the start of their turns, they should get that healing effect. And I will, after releasing that pulse of energy, sort of feeling the mist around me. Instead of naturally pulling towards the Chastifaux and spiritual weapon I know, I look towards the mist around me, and I think of the goddess Nyx and her blanket, and from from that, I try and pull forth a new spiritual weapon, and I'll cast spiritual weapon at 4th level. And from the mist, as I try and pull forth this weapon behind the Black Phoenix and slashes towards it.
21 hits. Roll that damage. 15 points of damage. Ouch.
So I'm holding Chastafol in one hand and outstretched is my other. That was gesturing for this night weapon to attack. So now I will point Chastafol at it, and it will charge up some energy, and a ray of light will come out of it, and I will cast Sacred Flame as my cantrip.
Alright, that is a failure. 12 points of damage from your Sacred Flame. So, King, you continue your aquatic waltz, pushing off. Every time you do it, a droplet hits the ground, rippling, causing a ripple between the 20-foot radius from you, healing your allies as the mist goes into them. Shooting forth with your new form of Chastafo, the form of the Moon Blade, it strikes at the beast, hitting it, scratching between its flesh, causing it to bleed. You then again shoot another ray of energy as it kindles from underneath its feet and burns up, causing it to take sacred radiant damage. Kai looks around and smiles. I have the best allies. Let's do this! And he will also use 25 feet of his movement. While he's trapped and weakened, he goes into those same moves he did before, but this time's a little bit different, a little unique. And the strange combination of silver and blue begins to coalesce. A light begins to swirl around him. His voice echoes, Tempest Vagary, Dance of the Thunder Dragon! And as he does, he shoots forward and begins, faster than any of you can see, turns into a shard of lightning, bouncing up and around the Phoenix, bouncing off of the rocks that Minako has created and encompassing it into a strange electrical air funnel of energy, until finally you see a lightning strike down onto it, and then you make out his blade slashing down at the same time. He will then turn around after landing, and you see the energy shatter and disperse. He'll go ahead and make another strike with his blade. Kai kind of lands. So after creating this acrobatic energy attack and making his last slash, he backs up a little bit, taking a deep breath. Sorry, I'm still new at this. And he will end his turn there. Top of the round, the Black Phoenix. All right, legendary action time. The Black Phoenix will take his wings together and start to kind of cover himself and the rocks that Minako has caused to entrap him. He will start to glow this black hue color that you saw him glowing before when it was flying around at the top at the beginning of the encounter. And then after it finishes its glow, it releases its wings, shooting forth all the rocks and crystals that are around it, that's encompassing it. It resolidifies, and you all need to make me dexterity saving, with the exception of Cal.
Woohoo!
And you don't get your +4 because Cal is nowhere near you.
No, Cal, please, if you're out there somewhere.
The Phoenix was blocking me before.
All right, so you all fail.
You guys might be stunned around if I don't succeed my con check.
I just realized it. Oh, that's gonna suck.
You all take 43 points of piercing and bludgeoning damage. You all are blasted back and pierced when the clouds and when the snow dies down and the dust that's in the air. You all see that you're bloody and covered in rocks and crystal, as once again the shining black obsidian bird flaps his wings and starts to fly up. And as it makes its last flap before it ascends, it just shoots so fast that once again you cannot take any opportunity. But it only goes about 50 feet in the air. But it can't do anything else after doing that action, so it'll end its turn. All right, so you are able to hold on to the concentration of haste.
Yay, mitigation!
Right.
Super mitigation.
And with that in mind, since I want to continue holding my concentration, I'm going to cast Magic Missile at the 5th level.
All right. So it will not miss, and it goes 120 feet, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So go ahead and roll that magic missile. 28 points of damage, and it's force damage. So as you've noticed, several of the damage you've done, definitely force damage at this point, because 4 of you have used force damage, has done the most to it. Chipping away at its obsidian exterior, you see the all of the missiles choo 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 choo, and they hit the beast as it calls in pain. Ah! Ratio, what else do you want to do?
That's the end of Horatio's turn.
All right, Cal, you just witnessed all of your friends get blasted back, and you see them covered in shards.
Let's what do you say we even this out a little bit? As I continue to dance, keeping my vagary activated.
Okay, 25 feet of your movement.
I'm going to now use the magic pistol that has been reloaded.
But yes, 26 hits, roll damage.
I'm also going to use Divine Smite at a 2nd level slot.
All right.
I'm going to see that the first one rang true and continue to fire off the magic revolver. And I'm going to use a soul burst to roll another die.
Critical fail.
Well,
So you go to shoot your gun and it does misfire, and you, using your soul burst, you channel the electricity from within to shoot out the bullet anyway. It flies off, but unfortunately you were too hasty and it just goes off into the distance.
Oof.
You all see like a light streak go by.
so then I'll use the hasted action to shoot with my regular revolver.
Okay, yeah. 20 does not hit.
Oh my gosh.
As you remember, the AC that you hit before was 21.
Yeah. Ugh.
It definitely looks stronger and buffier and beefer because it's back to being like crystallized. Think of
Yeah.
Emma Frost from X-Men, how she goes into that diamond form and then goes back to that fleshy form. This is what the bird is doing as well.
Okay. Can I use my bonus action then to reload the regular revolver, which is now empty?
All right. So you fire your first shot, it hits. You go to fire another one. Unfortunately, the gun explodes, releasing your vagary, shooting across a lightning bolted bullet. It misses as well. Going ahead and using the rest of your actions, you fill up your normal pistol, unable to go ahead and repair your magical.
Yeah. And
So you still have your hasted movement.
I do have my hasted movement.
Your friends are like, "We need you."
Yeah.
I'm not yelling like
Will I get an opportunity attack because I know this thing's like 50 feet above me. Will it attack me if I go underneath of it?
No, it's too high. It wouldn't be able to. Well, you don't know if it has any range opportunity attacks, but
Yeah, you're
this is
right.
our-
You're right, I don't. Okay. Then
you don't know it.
All right, 40 feet of movement down. So you all see Cal running down the hill, almost slipping, but he makes good pace to get over to you guys, and you all feel the aura of his divinity wash over you.
sorry about that, everybody.
You have one soul burst left.
Yes.
Okay. So up next, Duran, Monaco, and King. But Duran has first dibs on his action, gaining 7 HP from King's Dominion.
Duran is going to use his bonus action to ignite fire at the one. And right now, Cal. So, does Cal still have his magic gun loaded, or is his magic gun out of magic?
Both of them are out of commission.
Shoot, or gets not shoot. Duran is going to look over at Monaco and nod his head.
Her eyes meets his for a second, and she will release another set of Eldritch Blasts at the Black Phoenix.
All right, fire away. 18 misses, but a 25 surely hits. Roll that damage. 15 points of damage to the Black Phoenix.
And it is pulled 10 feet towards Monaco.
All right, so as you hit with the Eldritch Blast, it opens up a tear into some type of space that you've witnessed several times when you use his ability. Coming out of it are the tentacles of Hadar as it pulls the bird down. The bird tries to break free but is unable to, and then it sucks back into the space and the seals up, getting 40 feet away from you all.
And then she will make her movement out of there.
Okay, and you run over to the corner of Monaco, getting far back away.
She kind of hides behind this obsidian structure, but
Nice.
maintains her distance with King.
And as she's pulling him down with the grasp of Hadar, Duran uses that time to do his cloud vagary dance and spends 25 movement activating his cloud vagary, using the rest of his 45 movement to engage the Black Phoenix in the air.
All right, you go into your cloud dance, activating the vagary. The winds pick up again, coming beneath your feet, and you can move where you so wish.
Awesome. And then Duran's going to attack for the first time with Firethorn.
All right, roll that attack. 17 misses. So going down with the first time of Firestone, you slash down. The bird is too nimble. Even though for its huge size, it thrusts back, and you hit nothing but air. Make your next attack if you so choose.
Yeah, Duran uses the second attack fighter feature. He isn't slowed down by the bird dodging. He continues to strike on schedule, swinging again with Firethorn.
27! That hits. Roll damage. 12 points of damage onto the Black Phoenix.
And then he's going to attack again using the hasted attack action.
16 misses. Anything else?
Duran's going to kind of he's going to hold his blade out in the sky towards the Dark Phoenix as if to challenge him. And that's my turn.
All right. So using your cloud vagary, you go up and walk up the sky, meeting face to face with the Black Phoenix. Some of your slashes not go through, but some did, and you were able to strike into the crevices and broken parts of this obsidian creature. King, you're up next.
Seeing that the Phoenix got pulled closer from Monaco's attack, I'll gesture my hands forth and have the crescent blade fly 20 feet closer towards the bird and have it slash at it as my bonus action. Spiritual weapon, make it attack.
18 does not hit.
I tried. Okay. Quickly launching the attack, but seeing it deflected by the bird, I decide to focus on my allies in front of me. I'm going to continue to spin and dance and walk 5 more feet this way. And as I do so, I'm going to start twirling, chest hold like a baton. And as I do, I'm going to call forth the energy within and say Pollen Garden and activate the floral energy from within. And it's going to start spewing these pollens into the mist and invigorating allies that I can see within 60 feet of me. And I'm casting Mass Cure Wounds with it.
Okay, so King, continuing your wands as you step over elegantly. You all see that King is just kind of doing these elegant moves around, and as he's doing so, letting out his hand to control Chastafo and the moon shape blade. Still a little clumsy around it, but he's unable to hit the creature as it bounces off of its sturdy skin. He then releases the Cure Wounds from his step as the last droplet. As he steps down to the ground, King, you release kind of like another ripple, healing all of your allies around you. And the crystals fall off and your wounds heal up a little bit. It's just a little bit of bloodied, but much better than what you were before. Kai is going to move around in movements that are similar, or if not even similar, that are exact to what Duran did, and kind of shouts out, "Skywalk!" Doof, doof, and begins walking up the clouds as well with Duran. He's going to use his action to dash because he's not hasted. So Kai goes into the dancing motions and walks up, following the same steps and motion as Duran. Flipping up over the beast, he lands on the other side, making his strike with his blade. Scratching up its belly, it begins to glow and hum before completing his entire strike. Duran, let's do this. He ends his turn. Top of the round, Black Phoenix. He is going to look and see that he is surrounded, point his body towards the rock structures that are around him, the obsidian structures, using his speed, fly into it, and disappears within the light of the obsidian mountain side.
What?
He ends his turn. Ratio, you're up next. You just saw the bird creature just disappear into the mountainside, almost like it melded in with it.
Horatio will prepare a magic missile at level 3 for when the creature pops up and is within range, which I believe is 120 feet.
All right. So you move over and begin to channel the magic missile, expending the spell slot. They all begin to hover over your fingertips, ready to strike. Up next, Cal, you heal from within King's Dominion.
Oh, thank goodness.
5 points.
All right. Oh, thank you, King. Where did the thing go? Well, now's a good time to try to fix my revolver, I guess. And I'm going to now do the Tinker check.
Okay.
And I have to beat a 9.
Roll me that Tinker check. Dirty 20. You go ahead and start putting out the broken pieces of metal, that shards, and clear it up, cleaning it out. You put the gun back together and snap it back into place, and you are able to repair one of your magic pistols.
All right. I will take my bonus then to fully reload it.
All right.
And I'm pretty comfortable with my positioning. I guess I could move right here, and that way I can give everybody the save bonus. So I move like 10 feet kind of in the middle of everybody.
Okay. Does that end your turn?
Yes.
Fixing your pistols and reloading them, you get into position to encompass most of your allies in your divine energy. Duran, healing from King's Dominion, 7 HP. What do you do?
Duran, not knowing where the creature is, he's going to... Let me see if he has a solution in his inventory. Duran is going to start moving, and he's going to use his maneuver, evasive footwork. And so I'm going to spend 25 feet of movement again, maintaining skywalking. And then Duran is going to try to zoom around. He's going to move back about 10 feet.
Okay. What else would you like to do?
And after he moves about 10 feet away, he's going to try to look around. Can I take a turn to try to make a perception check to see if I can see anything that might reveal our enemy's location? Perhaps if I can feel the path of the wind or anything else changing from where he is.
Roll me a perception check. 13. You're looking around. The only thing you can feel as your heightened senses are up, trying to pinpoint, is just small tremors in the ground. You're not sure where they're coming from, but you can surmise that it's probably this creature moving.
Duran's going to spend the rest of his movement moving back to the ground and taking a defensive position.
Okay.
That's the end of my turn.
All right, Manako, healing for 7 as well.
Huh? Where'd it go? Oh, Blessing of Nyx, protect us! Blanket of Night! And she will cast Tiefling Darkness on a point not too far away from her and engulf the area in magical darkness. And then she will move into the magical darkness, hiding herself.
Okay, so you look on over and summon Power of Darkness, invoking your deity. Placing it, you see a magical dark shroud of clouds appear to the left of Manako as she runs into it and disappears. King? Unless there was anything else you want to do, Manako.
No, that's it.
I will continue to dance and move closer towards all of my allies, applying the regenerative ripple effect. I still feel the pressure in the air and think that this battle is not over. So I maintain my dance, and I take a moment and I touch the crown on my forehead and release the daily energy and cast Mage Armor on myself. Can't believe I didn't do that before. And then I will look at, I guess, Duran, and I will extend my hand out and say, "My faith will be our shield." And I will twin cast Shield of Faith on him, which is a level 1 spell. And then I will end my turn.
All right, so King, you continue your wants around, scared, not knowing where this creature went, but keeping still fast and true. You end your dance, continuing the regenerative properties, and then aiding your allies further by creating the Shield of Faith as the wisdom dives down your perception goes down a little bit, but at least now you know your allies are protected. Up next is Kai, who is... Brace yourselves. He can come from anywhere. And he'll understand. Top of the round. Bursting out from the western side, you see expanding its wing in a big caw is the Obsidian Phoenix from the rock formation that was over there. Now glowing once again, it releases another torrent of shards and crystals and shoots it at your direction. Everyone, except for Minako and Kai, has to make a dexterity saving throw. If you are hasted, then it's at advantage.
And add 4 if you're next to me.
And add 4, yeah.
Praise be Calamvor. Balance them.
Let's go.
There it is. Hopefully.
Okay. So we have King with a 22, Duran with a 12, Horatio with a 10, and Cal with an 18. So anyone who rolled underneath a 17 fails. Everyone else?
Horatio with that nat 1 life.
Let's go.
Everyone else, you don't take any damage. It's not like it's lightning bolt. But the consequences for those who fail are greater.
You sound a little too happy about that, Bucko.
I mean, you guys are rocking it right now. So...
How far away is he from me currently?
He is about... Oh, that's right, because you have your magic missile. So he's definitely within range of your magic missile. So you can go ahead and release that.
Okay.
So all of you who failed take 47 points of... Well, 11 points of piercing and 36 points of bludgeoning damage. The rest of you all managed to duck out the way. The creature bursts out of the rock formations in the upper left-hand corner, completely destroying it. So we're just going to put an X here, or a box, signifying this is all destroyed area. And he's going to continue to fly up, and he has 120 feet. So he gets 120 feet into the air, and he'll end his turn. All right, Horatio, you're up. 4 points of regeneration on you.
Yeah, I'm just going to do a level 2 magic missile, keep chipping away.
All right, roll that damage.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. I'm gonna write this down. Screenshot. 1 1 1 1 plus 4, 8 damage. Play the lottery now. All right. So you go ahead and shoot your magic missile. They are, as you shoot it, the same time he releases it, you're a little bit off, and some of the missile's damage hits the rocks that come out and just graze the creature. It does take a little bit of damage though, but not nearly as much as you would hope. It is still your turn.
Sorry, I'm just laughing right now, but
It's fine.
I will move in this direction here, kind of trying to figure out its trajectory and preparing for another spell.
All right, moving further up the hill towards where Cal was before. You look over and see the creature up in the sky. What else do you want to do?
That is the end of my turn.
Okay. Cal, healing for 5 points for being within King's Dominion. What do you do?
Feels so... back to normal. Alright. Being near you all makes me feel like killing this thing. How about we start making that happen? And I start firing my magic pistol. And I'm going to use a grit point to give it a Deadeye shot, which gives me advantage.
All right. This is the first time we've seen you use a grip point?
No, I think I've used it once before for the Deadeye shot.
Oh, okay.
But it's kind of like seeing that lightning coming from my eyes and the white light with the Divine Smite. I am like super focused in, and I'm going to use a grit to give myself advantage on the shot.
All right. 24. That hits. Full damage.
And I'm going to also expend a second level spell slot for Divine Smite as I unleash this bullet from my magical revolver.
You start to glow, and you all see Cal channel the essence of both his vagary and Kalimvor within his shot. Shooting it, you lock on and hit dead in the face the creature as it kind of screams and caws in pain. before another divine blast comes from erupting from it, showing a little bit of the obsidian is starting to crackle off, and its skins and feathers are able to show through. So you're doing a good amount of damage to this creature.
Awesome. And I'm going to use that 25 meant to keep that vagary going. And I'm also going to shoot my second attack of my main action with the magic pistol.
All right, roll that attack. 23, that hits.
And I'll use a regular divine smite into that. I'm just like unleashing all of this holy radiant energy into this thing after seeing it hurting my friends round after round, bombarding them and myself with these black shards.
18 more points of damage. Ouch. Anything else you want to do?
Yeah, I still have 2 more shots from my magic pistol. One for my bonus action, and another for the hasted action.
Indeed.
So I'm going to continue rolling into shot after shot.
All right. 19 misses.
And I'll use my last soul burst to kind of bend it backward,
All right.
hopefully.
16.
Yeah. So that one actually just like curves and can't curve quite fast enough and flings by. And then I use my final shot.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
And this is also going to be divine smited. So
Okay, so that is a total of 21 and plus 4. So 25 points of damage. So Cal, you just go, and with lightning reflexes, the one gun, you're just like moving them in very angular and sharp motions, firing blasts, spinning it around, and trying to bend back one misshot, but without missing a beat. Seeing that it did not work, you continue your hits until you finally square lock it onto the eye of the creature, the eye of the hole that you had made before. Hitting it, you just hear it go Gah! As it rails up and begins to free fall, spiral down, striking it critically.
everybody, don't let up. Use this advantage. And that'll be the rest of my turn.
Did it fall to the ground?
No, it's not. It is not really free falling down, but it's kind of hurt and
Okay.
balance.
How far away is it?
It's still about 100 feet in the air. So Duran, you could choose to go now or wait, team up with your allies, but you gain 8 HP back.
Duran is going to start moving. He's going to use his movement to kind of move towards this obsidian structure over here.
Which one?
The one that's about like 10 or 15 feet to the north of Duran. Okay, he uses 15 feet of his movement doing that, and then he's going to expend a second one of his combat dice to use the attack he gets from the haste in combination with his bonus action to kind of point towards the Black Phoenix. And he says over to Cal, give him another shot. And he gives you one weapon attack.
Oh, sweet.
Ooh.
It'll cost you your reaction though.
Okay, that's fine. So I still have ammunition in my regular pistol, so I turn over to where the bird is and fire one more shot at it.
Okay.
Mm.
16 misses,
Well-
unfortunately.
Fortunately, yeah.
Unless anyone else has something they want to do to augment. But
No.
okay.
Duran is going to then use his Mask of the Wild feature to hide while in plain sight in this physical structure of obsidian columns and jetting fragments.
All right. Roll me a stealth check at advantage. 25. All right. So you blend in with the structure and the stone, and you feel that you're virtually invisible. Everyone who was looking at Duran, you do see that he blends in quite nicely. You can't even make out where he is. Monako, King, to take their next turn.
Although no one can see it, Monako is charging forward bravely. Her eyes locked on the Black Phoenix, and she's, while hiding in the darkness, she unleashes a volley of Eldritch Blasts once again.
Okay, then I will make a gesture and have my spiritual weapon 20 feet closer, bridging the distance between myself and this bird, interposing itself, and I will continue to spin and dance as I continue my aquatic waltz and cast a guiding bolt at it at 3rd level.
All right. So as you're going to cast Guiding Bolt, you see coming from the Black Shadow Monaco fire. You just see firing out an Eldritch Blast as it swoops in and it hits the creature as well. Both of them. Shoof, shoof, goof, goof. You hear, ah! It doing 18 points of damage. Nice. And then immediately afterwards, the Guiding Bolt follows it and kind of just weird white and black light energy swirling together.
Pew! Miss.
And it unfortunately breaks apart and goes off into the distance.
As the Eldritch Blast hits, a small, black opening appears and a tentacle comes out, obscuring the guiding bolt, but pulling it 10 feet.
Yeah. All right. So it goes down to 190 feet.
Does it go down to 190 or?
No. I was gonna say 110 because it was 120 up, but during that blast from Cal, it just kind of free fall down a little bit before catching the winds and getting 100 feet, and then now being pulled an additional 10. It's now 90 feet above the ground.
All right, cool.
All right. Anything else you want to do, King?
No, that's everything.
All right. Kai, he's going to spin around, and it almost looks like a breakdance. What he was doing, it's the same thing he was doing before with his flowy movements, but with his sharp movements. And as the lightning starts to swirl around his feet, he's going to shoot 2 lightning blasts up at the Black Phoenix. Has to make a dex save. Natural 1. So it takes 14 points of damage. And he can't really hit it from this distance. So Kyle will turn around and goes, "Give it everything you got. We can do this. Let's make history." And he ends his turn. Top of the round, Phoenix. The Phoenix will right itself up and look at all of you. So the Phoenix will start to dive bomb down towards you, putting in its wings until eventually it becomes just a black light. As it shoots across, it bursts through this entire rock entity here that Duran's hidden in and that most of you are kind of behind. Coming apart, spreading its wings, it attacks, hits all of you before ending its attack, before landing right in front, hovering 10 feet above the ground. So it will make an attack. Flyby, and it's going to hit Horatio, Duran, King, and Kai. Just out of reach. No, it'll also hit Cal. It's going to hit all of you. Dexterity saving throw you'll all have to make.
Ooh, I'm within 10 feet of Cal.
Are you still 20 feet in the air, though?
Me? I'm not in the air.
Oh, I thought you were.
I've never been in the air.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, you got that +4 then.
And
And if you're hasted, you have advantage.
Let's go.
And yet my advantage has done nothing for me, sadly.
All right, so everyone, which is Duran and Cal, who rolled below a 18, fails, and the rest of you take half damage.
I literally rolled a 5 and a 6.
I rolled 4 1s on a magic missile.
Yep. The feels bad.
So you all take 27 points of damage, as well as an additional 26 points of damage. All right, so the Black Phoenix goes and jolts into the nearest crystalline structure, which is what you all happen to be behind. Going through it, it turns into a jet stream of black light. It bursts out, hitting all of you with shards of this structure, which is completely destroyed. So Duran, you're no longer hidden. And then all of you who touch it as it comes across, which would be each of you, take an additional force damage as it batters and bruises you, landing 10 feet above. So it no longer has the height, but it used all of its movement to do that ability, and it will end its turn.
Duran will cry out as the concussive impact obliterates the obsidian stones he's crouching and hiding in, rendering him unconscious.
Oh yeah, Duran is unconscious.
Duran, no!
Alright. Horatio is going to drop haste. Sorry, guys. And I'm going to hold monster at it.
Oh no, I'm incapacitated. I'm drained to the end of my next turn.
So you are lethargic, Cal, and Duran, when you wake up, if you wake up.
And it's held.
Yep. So you cast your whole monster, and it latches on, and the beast is just kind of writhing there, like, kind of cawing in pain. It's unable to move.
Okay, that's the end of my turn.
All right. Cal, you get some energy back from King's Dominion, though looking at King, you see he's extremely damaged. Being held in place by Horatio as he holds up his hand, crushing his fingers together to keep grasp on the creature you see floating there.
I'm going to keep firing at the Phoenix since it's held in place. Would that give me advantage?
Yes?
Excellent. And Horatio just dropped the haste spell, right? So I don't have that anymore?
Oh, you are lethargic. You cannot do anything this turn. Yes. So you lose your entire turn. As Horatio holds it in place, he lets go of that energy, and all of a sudden, all the fast movements you were doing before with your lightning, quick reflexes hits you, and you just almost fall to the ground, but barely manage to stay up. The weight of the world literally feels like it's on your shoulder.
Oh no! So I just lose everything because.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see that. Oh, I need a minute, and that's my turn.
Death saving throw, Duran. That's a success.
He moans from under the rubble, clinging to life.
Monako, you can see all this happening. You see your allies just on the ground. They all look terrible. Kai looks terrible. He has 30 HP left. What do you do?
As the Phoenix kind of bursts up and she witnesses it just go through all her friends and knock them astride and totally knock Duran down, Minako freezes for a second, thinking that this is the end. But she will see that it is held in place fast by Horatio, and it's on the ground, right?
No, it's 10 feet above the ground.
It's 10 feet above the ground, I see. So she will take 5 feet to get a little bit closer, and then she will cast Eldritch Blast again, with advantage, right?
24, that hits, and 10 points of damage. Nice.
And as it hits there's a sort of tear, and it's yanked 10 feet closer towards her. Is it touching the ground now?
As it pulls down, it touches the ground. Immediately, another light shines from it, and shards of its crystalline body begins to fall off and shoot off. You're revealing that, once again, its fleshy winged exterior or interior with little bits of pieces of obsidian lined up here and there.
She will let her final Eldritch Blast come out, doing, as she does so, beginning the steps of her dance.
All right, roll that attack. 29, 6 points of damage, and continuing your dance and holding out your hand, you go into the same movements that you once did before with your patron, and in doing so, the crystals and gems and rocks around you begin to form towards your feet, and you begin to glide onto these rocks formations as you dance around, activating your vagary.
As she nears the completion of her small dance, she does a pirouette and seems to dance with a partner for but a second before the shards kind of leap from the earth and encapsulate the Black Phoenix.
Okay. Black Phoenix, being held, can do nothing but be trapped with your trapped by your control of the rock elements. Once again, trapping it onto the ground as it can't even scream in pain because it's being held.
Kai!
King, you're up, gaining 4 points from your dominion.
How badly hurt does this Phoenix?
It looks really bad. Has a little bit of life left in it, but it looks pretty bad. You guys fucked it up.
Would you describe its black body flame-like or no?
No. Its body is very hard, like stone. Think of it like a crystal creature, and then when it shattered, you see similar colored feathers like a black phoenix, but it looks more fleshy.
Like Articuno?
Would I be able to discern if fire would heal it?
I mean, it doesn't look like there's any flames whatsoever with it.
So seeing that it has been grounded, cannot succeed on an escape tactics, I'm going to quickly dance around and in place and continue to heal my allies. But as I do so, I'm going to bubble and rage inside, and the power within me is growing in this rage seethes from me and my eyes go red, and I hold my hand out and I claw down in a downward motion, and I say, Fey King's immolation, you've been judged. And these wreaths of purple flame wrap around the Black Phoenix, and it has to make a dexterity save, but I think it auto fails because it's held, correct?
Yeah, it's paralyzed, and the creature automatically fails strength and dexterity saving.
So then it takes 8d6 fire damage, and it is magically wreathed in fire. And on the end of each of its turns, it will have to make a dexterity save and take the damage again each turn. And this magical fire cannot be put out by non-magical.
All right. So, King, continuing your movement to keep your vagary active, you go ahead and look at and judge the creature as it's being held. Unable to move out the way, it is engulfed with the flames, the green flames of nature, of the forest of Myliki, as they come through you, burning it. Takes massive amount of damage.
And then I will look back towards the spectral crescent blade, and I'll say, "Next, be finished with you!" And then I'll turn my head and point and have the spectral blade fly through the air towards the beast and make my spiritual weapon attack.
All right, roll that attack at advantage. All right, roll that damage. 18 points of damage. Ouch. The spectral sword of Moon, hovering with the cloak of Myliki, slashes down onto the creature, slashing across its back as you see blood start to pour from this Black Phoenix.
That's everything?
Now, while it's weakened, we do this! Finish it! He shouts out. So Kai kind of runs over there and does a flurry of attacks. Doesn't activate his vigor as you see the energy starts to die down. He looks tired, but he continues with the flurry of attacks, all of them hitting this creature that's being held together by magic and stone. He looks over towards the rest of you and nods his head. The Phoenix will take its turn. So it can't do anything, and at the end of its turn, it makes a
save, yeah.
So it can't do anything. I don't have a legendary action because I've used them.
And then it fails, and burns.
And then it burns. Describe your killing blow.
After Kai shouts his words of encouragement, the green flames that wreathed the Black Phoenix start to grow as I look towards my allies on the ground and think of all of the efforts they've put forth in this, and I channel my energy and emotion to it. Seeing that it's trapped by Minako, I call forth Myliki and Nyx to burn this creature to a cinder, extend my hand forth and channel the energy to it, and envelop it further and just overburn this Black Phoenix to ash and have it disintegrate in front of us.
All right, so looking at the creature as it looks down at you in pain and agony, invoke the power of the goddesses that you serve. In doing so, the flame ignites and you all see a large burst of flames around it that encompasses it and encircles it, and it finally begins to be able to scream as it breaks free from Horatio's hold, only to just it flies up, scratching through Minako's shielding, then coming down, still in flames, falling onto the ground. It slams until nothing but burnt rock and ash is seen, and you have successfully defeated the Black Phoenix.
I'm going to turn and stop dancing, and for Duran, whom I've noticed has not gotten up from the rubble, and start clearing the rubble around, noticing that Duran hasn't gotten up.
All right. Well, you are all effectively out of battle.
Woohoo!
Are you all right?
Duran's down, and I'm eventually going to find him. And after I find him, I'm going to rub my hand over his forehead and channel the energy of Myliki directly into him and cast Cure Wounds.
Duran, you feel the breath of life re-enter you again. As King pushes the rubble off and releases the energy of Myliki into you, gain consciousness once again.
Duran feels the familiar energy of King's healing light on him as he starts to regain consciousness. He kind of groggily looks up at King. Did we win, or do all the angels here look like King?
Seeing that King picked up Duran already, Horatio is going to go to where the Phoenix, where the corpse of the Phoenix was at, that it was burning to ash.
Oh yeah, it's time for the wizard to get some rare magic resources before anyone says anything.
So Horatio, you walk on over towards the body, the creature. There are pieces that fell off of it, of obsidian, before the immolation took place, but all you see is just nothing but black ash. Not just normal, though, like ash that from something burning, but this is like crystallized black ash. It's almost hard to the touch when you begin to inspect it. But Kai looks on over and says, "We did it. Friends, we did it. I can't. That was a close one. Duran, are you alright?"
I never had a doubt for any moment that we would come out on top. Ooh! Duran kind of holds his side. I just didn't know how many broken ribs we'd come out on top with.
Well, I think we've completed this mountain's trials. I need a second. And he goes and sits down and takes a breather.
Horatio asks, "Does anyone have an empty vial?"
I do not.
I do. How many do you need? It's not really a vial, though. About an empty glass bottle.
That's fine.
I'll hand you one of my glass bottles.
Thank you. And I'd like to collect some of this ash, if possible.
Okay. There's way more ash here than there is vials, so you can fill up as much of the vials that you have. I think you said you had 3 or 4.
Minako will sit down next to Kai and smile at him and just thank him.
No, thank you, Minako. Wow, your vagary is so powerful. You were able to hold that creature steady. I don't know if I would be able to hit without you.
It just came to me. I saw the crystals and I knew that I could contribute. But your blade was the one that severed it.
I've never seen a stone dancer that can control crystals. Maybe it's just a strange irony from the fact that you're a crystal maiden. Gods, they like to play little jokes and it can be funny.
It's just Nick's one of our little jokes.
Well, blessed be. That power was amazing. All of you, that was amazing.
Did you see how fast Duran ran?
I've never seen anyone move as fast.
Duran, you were like the wind itself.
Duran kind of feebly flashes a thumbs up while he kind of holds his hand over his side.
You must take it easy. You are still quite hurt. We all do.
But we've done it. We have conquered the mountain and trained our vagaries, and with this, Kai will be able to protect your people.
Yeah. Oh, shit. The North Row. That's tomorrow morning. And he goes and looks over the edge. How the hell are we gonna get down?
Can we try to open a scar?
A scar? We've already...
I wouldn't want to try that. That's up here, a scar? No. There's no need to risk exposing this to any demons. Not that I think it probably would work here. There's definitely some type of strange magic happening. And as he says that, before he finishes his words, Horatio, your vials that you finally finished collecting shatter as the dust shoots out. So you lose all of those vials, as well as the dust that was not collected. They all start to form together and start to spin until you see bird legs, a body, a face, and a beak, and long wings. Here, the Black Phoenix rises back up, its skin glittering and once again onyx. It then looks at all of you with its black eyes, and at that moment, we're gonna take a short break.
For the record,
Ooh.
we only said one vial.
I mean, if it's one vial, that's fine. Then you have one vial.
Yeah, the one I gave him.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, what?
Hey there, Dungeon Delvers. Thank you for listening. I would like to take this time to thank all of the wonderful people who helped bring Descent into the Void, a tale of D20s to life, starting with Frank Freire, who designed our character art, Kyle Misko, who collaborated on the main, mystical, and night theme songs, Manuel Lapuca, who collaborated on our battle and adventuring theme song, Jan Rosa for the use of their original soundtracks, David Chappell for the use of his End of Silence, A World of Color soundtrack, MFY for the use of their Dragon Castle Symphony for Duran's theme song, and Danny.Phantom.01 for creating the Liberators' full art. You can find more about these wonderful artists on our website, ataleofd20s.com. Now click on to part 2, and let's continue our epic tale.